Mayonnaise is a simple ingredient with a critical mission in professional kitchens. So why is selecting the right mayonnaise so complex? From extra heavy duty to real super premium, the category terminology causes unnecessary confusion. And the lack of standardization can lead to disappointing results, dissatisfied customers, and costly waste. Visit venturafoods.com/mayo needs to help you find the right mayonnaise for your operation.
Welcome to Menu Talk with Pat and Brett. This week, I'm on board with a conversation featuring Donna Magen, Senior Manager of Specialty Channels at Levain Bakery. Levain is a cult favorite in New York City, where fans line up at the neighborhood stores to score the bakery's famous oversized cookies, me included. Each cookie is about 6 ounces, and somehow it is crispy on the outside and gooey on the inside in just the right proportions. Levain was started by 2 friends as a bread bakery, but they were also triathletes, and they developed the cookies as a way to fuel up. Eating 1/6 of one of the chocolate chip walnut cookies is the perfect size for a non-triathlete like me. And in group catering orders, they even send out a cookie cutter to make them easy to divide. Well, now Levain has expanded beyond New York City to Chicago, LA, Massachusetts, DC, and beyond, and is growing rapidly. And the company is moving more aggressively into catering, having recently partnered with ezCater. Donna is heading up that growth, and she talks about how Levain is leaning into treat culture, as well as breakfast catering and partnerships with other brands, like ice cream concepts. And they're getting back to bread where it all began, with breads and spreads, muffins, scones, and more. Listen as she shares the Levain story and talks about what's next. Hope you enjoy it. Welcome, everybody. I'm Pat Kobe, Senior Menu Editor of Restaurant Business, and I'm here with Donna Magen, who's the Senior Manager of Specialty Channels at Levain Bakery. Welcome, Donna.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. So excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you because I'm such a big fan of Levain cookies that I wish you had some for me virtually.
We can arrange that.
Okay. So I wanted to start by you telling me how Levain got started as a small bread bakery and accidentally created these famous cookies. And maybe you could describe the cookies for our audience who isn't familiar with them.
For sure. It's like my favorite subject. I love the story of Levain Bakery. So it was started by 2 best friends, Pam and Connie, in 1995, so 30 years ago. So we are celebrating our 30-year anniversary, which is so incredible. One of the things I love about their story is that when people ask them what they're most proud of, whether it's like on a TV show or a podcast, it's always that they're still best friends. So I just love that about them. But basically, they started this tiny scratch bakery on 74th Street, and they were both triathletes. They were swimmers, and they developed this cookie recipe, and people started loving it. And then back then, there was no Instagram and, no sort of virality the way that we have it today. And Amanda Hester from the New York Times came by, tried the cookie, was blown away, wrote an article, and then literally overnight they came back to the bakery and there was like a line down 74th Street, like to Central Park. So
Wow.
that was what made history. And when I first started working here, I just loved hearing that story because it just shows you what one person can do and how different people get their news, especially their food news these days. What sets Levain Bakery apart is the size of the cookie. So it is a 6-ounce cookie. It's big and it is crispy on the outside, gooey in the middle. I don't know how they do it. I had to sign something. I don't know exactly how it's done. I have been to our commissary in Long Island City. It is still hand scaled. There is 0 artificial. So we cannot, quality is number 1. There's no packaging involved. It's you get it, you eat it. And they're using the same recipe that they did 30 years ago.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Well, we're not triathletes, so I only eat like maybe a sixth of a cookie at a time because
Yeah,
they are quite substantial.
they are. They're substantial. They're hefty. But I totally got the hype. I was one of those people who was standing on that line for that
Oh,
oatmeal
wow.
raisin. That's my favorite. Yes.
So this is like your dream job now.
100%. Yes.
So how many locations are there now?
So we just opened our 18th location in Beverly Hills. Levain is a privately owned company now, but the growth is very intentional. It's slow, it's steady. A lot of food brands I see kind of opening tons of locations. So we're very intentional. We always want to be known as the neighborhood bakery. So creating connections within the community. Pam and Connie being so embedded in the Upper West Side, they wanted to make sure that as the company grew and as the brand grew, that those pillars were still in place. And it's still so important when we talk about anything on the commercial team with regards to marketing. And it's very much a neighborhood bakery.
That's really cool because, some of the other bakeries now are big chains and they're
Yes.
all over the country. But you've really kept your neighborhood identity.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So how do the cookies fit into the current little treat culture? Because that's very big now, and that's
Mm-hmm.
something that, especially Gen Z is into because people might not have, be able to afford a dinner out, but they can afford a little treat. So is
Mm-hmm.
that like increasing traffic and sales for you?
Definitely. There's some very interesting little like tidbits and statistics that 30% of workers reach for a treat daily, and 76% of workers reach for a treat weekly. So we very much try to capitalize on that, knowing that Gen Z is really embracing that little treat culture where, okay, maybe I can't right now purchase something enormous, so I'm going to treat myself to a Labubu doll or or a $6 cookie. So what we try to bring to Levain, apart from the delicious cookie, is the packaging, the warmth that you get when you enter the bakery, the service, the just the intentionality of us picking up that cookie, putting it in a VSAC, making sure it's warm out of the oven. We've also, over the summer in our retail locations, we did an attachment with ice cream. So we partnered with local creameries, and you could get a scoop of premium vanilla ice cream with a cookie a la mode. So making that a really special experience. And I know I'm a millennial, but that was my treat. Like if I had to go to the Upper West Side for a doctor's appointment, I knew that I wasn't coming home. I lived on the Upper East Side, that before we had a bakery there, that was what I was going to get. And that was something I was really looking forward to. So when you pass by a bakery, you smell it, and you know that this is something that you want to spend your calories, your time, and your money on.
Well, bakeries really seem to be having a huge moment now. I mean, since the pandemic, I think a lot of, pastry chefs, especially who, aren't being hired now because restaurants have cut back for one reason or another, are opening little bake shops. So it's a great time to love baked goods. That's for sure.
I agree. I agree. And especially scratch baking. I think people are nostalgic right now, just the macro environment. And there are just so many factors that bring people into a little bakery, and something that specializes in one thing or a few things, as opposed to like a giant supermarket or a giant, conglomerate. So as someone who obviously follows bakeries, I see a lot of those little guys opening up, and I like it. I think it's a great trend.
So when did you decide to get into catering, and did you partner with ezCater right away?
Mm-hmm. So we started catering about a year ago. So we're fairly new. We decided when I signed on, I knew that I was going to be dealing with corporate channels, with events, and then eventually with catering. So catering took a little while, as it should, to launch. We thought about the audience. We thought about especially how are we going to bring such an experiential retail store bakery en masse, and to bring it in a large format. Our CEO is ex Panera, and right away said we're going to use ezCater. There's no doubt about it. He had a wonderful experience. I had never worked directly with ezCater, but I had heard good things. What I really loved about the ezCater journey and was that this was our first foray into catering, and that there was a lot of hand holding and a lot of expertise from their side. They felt like a real partner to us. They didn't just sort of leave it to us to figure out the best practices. And the onboarding experience was very simple, which we really needed for operators that are using 3PD, that are using, face-to-face. So adding this other channel for outbound sales needed to be simple and not create more churn in the operators world. So it really covered all the bases there.
So did you do social catering before that? Like if somebody wanted a lot of cookies for a party at home or like a bar mitzvah or wedding or something like that?
So we've done favors. We ship favors nationwide. And those, that's another one of my channels. But for those, we can do customizations. We package them in individual cellos. It's very intentional. When it comes to large format, like, hey, I'm having a party in one of our markets, Boston, Chicago, LA, and I want 100 cookies. There is no elegant way. It's going to be delicious, but they're going to come in our big white bakery boxes, and you're going to have to sort of figure out how you want to display it. So packaging was a really, really big deal. I wanted the customer, the end user, to be able to receive the package, open the box, display it, and have it look beautiful and feel like a catering order, as opposed to, I just got a whole bunch of cookies at the bakery.
So what is the packaging like when you get it in like an office situation?
Yeah. So we were very, very careful on measuring for the box. We wanted a pack of 16 and a pack of 28. We wanted to make sure that the cookie assortments led the customer in a simple way. So I want your best sellers. So, okay, we're going to call it the essential cookie box. I've been in catering for a long time, so I know that EAs and HR and, office managers, like, they want this to be as easy as possible. No guesswork. So we measured for the box. We wanted to make sure it was sturdy, that it was beautiful. So the Levain blue, we wanted it to tell a story. So when you open the box, our founding story is on there. That has a little bit of storytelling, that the cookies fit perfectly. So it really feels like we thought about the way it's going to arrive at your office. And then there is a 28 box, which has been doing really, really well. It's just an easy way for our customers to be able to order a lot of cookies, and it's very impressive looking. So when you open this box and all 28 cookies like fit really flush in it, that's where the super cookie stash was born. We were kind of playing around with names. I was like, this is amazing. What do you think? And one of our district managers was like, it's like a super cookie stash. For some reason, it became our best seller. I think it's just a great name. It doesn't really mean it is a super cookie stash, but the catering customer is different than a 3PD or someone that comes into the bakery itself. So any of these naming conventions or any ways to get our customers to understand the product better is helping steer them in the right direction.
So when somebody orders catering for an office situation or like a college, maybe, do the individual stores do it and send it out, or is it done from a commissary situation?
Yeah. So it's our bakeries. So we have Newbury in Boston, Larchmont. Right now, when we open a new bakery, they open with catering. In New York, we have Upper East Side, Williamsburg, and 18th Street. So they're servicing all the different areas of the city. So it's directly from the bakery.
Oh, got it. So do you have a dedicated team in each bakery that does this, or is it, who's ever working behind the counter when the order comes in?
Operationally right now, the beauty of catering is that you can see ahead. So you know that, on Thursday we have 10 orders and you can staff accordingly. That's why I love catering. I think it's just such an efficient way for restaurants to run and to understand when to staff, no food waste. So we're able to staff up or down according to, the way that the catering schedule looks. So it's kind of ad hoc.
But 28 is like the largest order, or I guess I could get a couple of boxes of 28.
Yeah. I mean, we've had orders for up to 10 boxes, maybe more. So really depends on the event. They're big cookies too. So I wanted to make sure to be able to include a cookie cutter. So we do have a white, cute little cutter that you can request at no charge, and you're able to cut your cookie. It's like a mezzaluna almost, and
Mhm.
you could try a little bit of the peanut butter and a little bit of the chocolate chip walnut. So that is helpful for sharing.
That's really a cool idea. I
Hmm.
like that.
Yeah,
So, have you found that catering is a marketing opportunity too? Like you're introducing new customers to the brand?
absolutely. Absolutely. So it's such a big deal when you're catering because you're getting your cookies to so many individuals. We are just absolutely meticulous when it comes to quality. So we want to make the cookies are baked and delivered the same day, as close to the courier arriving as possible. We want the cookies to arrive warm. We want someone who has never tried the brand or heard of the brand, maybe someone who's heard of it but never tried it, to get really the best cookie that they could possibly get. We understand that this is a way into some of the most innovative offices in finance, in software and AI, in marketing. So these are super, super important people, and we really treasure that and value it.
Cool. And so, how has catering added to your revenue stream? And I mean, it's a separate revenue stream, obviously, but
Hmm.
is this something that continues to grow? And is this something you are actively trying to grow?
Yeah, definitely actively trying to grow. So we see a lot of crossover between corporate customers, events customers, and 3PD. So these are all off-site channels. So how do we get a corporate customer who's ordering holiday gifts to also be like, oh, I could also get cookies for my holiday party, or oh, so my sister's having a bridal shower, so I need event favors. So there's so much crossover within these channels. There's so many ways to get Levain, to gift Levain. So being able to communicate that effectively is really a priority for us. With regards to revenue, we have big plans for catering. Right now, we're seeing that it's close to 2%, but we're looking to really grow it year over year. So as a revenue driver, we're seeing some really nice numbers, and we have a lot of confidence in the future. So yeah.
So, would you cater like breakfast pastries too, or is it really
Yeah.
limited to cookies?
So we made sure to make the menu. For me, it was a great opportunity to introduce people not just to the cookies, but to the bakery offering in general. So we have a breads and spreads where we have our fresh baked breads, nice and cut up with our butter that we use exclusively in the bakeries, and jam. We have a breakfast box with our scones, our muffins, our brioche. So seeing a good movement there. Our loaf cake platter is really popular. So those are our two loaves that we have throughout the year, and always like a seasonal loaf. So either lemon or pumpkin
Mhm.
sprinkled in there with the banana bread and the coffee cake. For some reason, we're seeing a lot of law offices go with our breakfast pastry. I don't know why, but they're going more with breakfast pastries and with the loaf cakes. We also have a milk package. So those are individual milks that you could add with your cookies. We have coffee as well. So trying to expand as much as possible. We recently launched savory as well. So a bunch of our bakeries are doing some really delicious sandwiches. So we have those platters as well. Hmm.
So, where do you see Levain cook? I'm sorry, let me say that again. Where do you see Levain cookies and catering going in the future? Are you expanding locations in the next year or so? Are you
Hmm.
going to be doing more catering?
Yeah, definitely. So we have more. Our next location is going to be Lincoln Park in Chicago.
Hmm.
So we are looking at about 3 to 5 new bakery openings per year. Each of them opening with catering, of course. And the idea is to continue marketing, continue using ezCater marketing tools, like the promotions that we can do and the paid ads. So any way that we can expand our reach is going to work. We're really interested in holiday catering. So making catering, like I said, a holistic part of how you can engage with the brand and how you can receive large format orders.
Mayonnaise is a simple ingredient with a critical mission in professional kitchens. So why is selecting the right mayonnaise so complex? From extra heavy duty to real super premium, the category terminology causes unnecessary confusion. And the lack of standardization can lead to disappointing results, dissatisfied customers, and costly waste. Visit venturafoods.com/mayo needs to help you find the right mayonnaise for your operation.